Hello there, this is Mikhail or Michael speaking, and before I start the video, I just want to say that we had reached 10,000 subscribers, which is a great milestone that I was thinking we will not reach so fast. Thank you all for your feedback and your support. It's been great so far, hope it will get even greater. Once again, thank you. Today's video is going to be relatively short as there are not much changes on the battlefield. Let's go over them quickly and not waste your time any longer. First we have Bakmut, so here's the situation yesterday and here is the situation today. It's interesting to see some results happening to the south of Bakmut. For some time Russians were unable to reach the city outskirts, and compared to the efforts a month ago, Russians are capturing much more now than they were a month ago. Right here, as you can see by the arrows right here, Russians are attacking towards village of Ivanovsky and also in this direction for this hill area right here. No changes on the map appeared so far, but again we can consider the gray area as contested one. So if we think that this is the Russian controlled territory, it is safe to say that the battle for Ivanovsky is ongoing, which some Russian sources are reporting. To the north of Bakhmut, there are reports of heavy fighting in this steel plant right here. Russians are reporting, quote, fighting for underground communications, unquote, and they are reporting that they are winning so far. So it's understandable why there are no changes on this front right here for some time now. Russians are kind of stuck here. As you can see, nothing has changed in the north. Russians continue attacking in overall direction of village of Khromove, as well as Bogdanivka. They're also attacking from recently captured village of Dubovo-Vasilivka towards Orekhovo-Vasilivka from these two directions. Also, Russians are reporting that they had started fighting inside Zalishansky, so it is safe to assume that they are storming the village. And now that Zalishansky is also flanked, I think it's safe to say that the village will fall soon. But as you can see, no changes. From here we go to the Seversk front. Russians continually attacking towards village of Razdalivka, Vesele and Belokharivka. Also they are attacking from this direction. The arrow doesn't suggest it, but they are attacking towards overall direction here. From Seversk we go to Liman. As you can see, Russians continually attacking in the direction of Liman, but to be more specific towards village of Zarichne. They had captured a small portion of the field right here, but once again I believe it is dangerous as Ukrainians can basically flank attack, so we might see neither Russian attack on this flank to support this attack, or maybe Russians will stop attacking on this direction and meet Ukrainians and fight to widen the front line. From here we go to Avdiivka, where again some changes had occurred. First let's go to the south of Avdiivka, where no changes have occurred. Russians are still unable to capture village of Nevelsky and Pervomaisky, as well as unable to successfully advance from Vadiane in the general direction of these two villages of Severne and Taneke, as well as Russians are unable to attack from Opitne towards Avdiivka itself. So it is safe to say that the Ukraine front line is holding strong. Then we go to the north of Avdiivka. First of all, we can see that Russians had slightly attacked towards the village of Novokalinova. Once again, we can see the change happened over the road. So it is again safe to say that Russians will attack along this road for some time, punch through Ukrainian front lines, maybe even attack in this direction and attack along the railroad and use it as the natural defense line to attack towards village of Novokalinova. I think generally this is what Russia been doing for some time now, and this is what we can expect from them. So this was the situation of yesterday. Russia had this forced line, and it would seem that Ukrainians had counter-attacked them, and we can see the change on the map. You can see that Russians had retreated to these road right here and now are using it as a natural defense line against Ukrainian attacks. Overall, Russians are attacking towards village of Alexandropol. From here we go to the Marinka front, it hasn't seen any change whatsoever. Russians continue their attack towards village of Pobeda, as well as in attempt to establish fire control over the Ukrainian communication lines in Marinka. Heavy fighting in the center of the city. It's going back and forth, so hard to say who is exactly winning. Overall, Ukrainians are holding on this front. And at last we go to Liman front, which again had not seen any change on the battlefield. Russians are continuously attacking towards the city of Vuhledar itself, also to the mines east of it. The period of bad weather that we have in Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus is basically called Rasputitsa. It happens when the frozen soil becomes extremely muddy and literally even people can't walk on it and tanks sink. I would say it would continue for about a month or two depending on the weather. And Ukrainians are speculating of a possible counteroffensive, not per se in Bakmut area to relieve the city, but also on a lot of axes. I don't know how possible this Ukrainian counteroffensive is. They are preparing a punch, it's obvious. A lot of Ukrainian troops are being prepared in countries like Germany and UK. So Ukrainians have some reserves of brigades that are basically a NATO standard. So I think Russians should really watch out for that. But once again, what I heard and what I know, Russians had learned their mistakes on this front right here, where they were basically overrun and unprepared for Ukrainian counteroffensive, and now they are digging trenches and heavily fortify their positions. So I assume that even if Ukrainians will counterattack somewhere, they will have initial success, but that initial success will be stopped in a day or two. It will not help Ukrainians, in my opinion. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Thanks again for 10k subscribers. You guys are the best. If you like my content, please consider supporting it by liking, subscribing, and commenting. If you had already done so, once again, you are the best. Have a good day, and always remember, Russia will be free.